Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly general reading. The way I like to do my readings is through my angel card deck. I find I have a deep connection with these cards and their messages really resonate with me. And also I use a life purpose deck. The life purpose deck cards are dedicated to your calling, what you came here to do. And as our life purpose is a journey that lasts our lifetime, I find these cards are very important little reminders for us on how we are serving that purpose. In my spread, I use 3 angel cards and they will take us throughout the week. And I also use the bottom card of the angel deck as I find this card really hits the message home in the reading. I take 1 card from the life purpose deck. This card's message is what your life purpose needs from you for this week in order to serve it and manifest it. I also use the bottom card of the life purpose deck too as it solidifies the message. And just a reminder that this is a general reading, so it could mean anything to you. Whatever resonates with you personally is the message you need to hear this week. With that said, welcome to this week's reading.
Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly general reading. So this reading is from 27th of August to the 2nd of September, so for the rest of August. So just introduce the cards: 2 of Earth and 8 of Air, King of Water, and we had 2 dropped angel cards this week, 5 of Water and 7 of Earth. And I've introduced a new card this week from a new deck. So this is from an energy oracle deck. So this card here is to do with the energies surrounding this upcoming week, which is action, which is quite interesting. And also for the life purpose card this week, we've got You're on the Right Path, which I think is really, I'm glad they put this in there because I feel like there is still a lot that, judging from these cards here, we still are transitioning from whatever that decision we made, whatever situation we had to leave, whatever situation we had to go to. We're still in this transitional phase in our lives. So we're going through a bit of we're still going through this awakening, which I was mentioning last week and the previous week. So this is the energy that we're in right now. And that's why they got the action card as well, because throughout this time you're taking a lot of action. It may not be just in your external world, but it's doing with a lot of healing with yourself, as we're still doing a lot of that. And regarding the 2 of Earth, it's still reflecting this decision that we're making and still reflecting something where I think it's more of, like I said last week, with accepting who we have to be. Like, we have to be the leader in this project. We have to step up and make that decision. And honestly, when I was reading these cards, I feel like I heard the word tantrum. And I feel like with everything that's happening right now, because there is a lot of energy around us and there's a lot going on right now, like I said last week, once this decision's made and we're going through all this process, it's going to be lightning fast. And what I feel like is, with what we've had to do here, we haven't liked doing it. We haven't wanted to do it. And I feel like we could be chucking a little bit of a tantrum right now, because it's when it's imagining like a child, you're teaching a child a new lesson. And before they've fully learned that lesson, they have a bit of a tantrum. They go, no, no, no. And they go into ego and like, no, no, no. And they chuck a tantrum. And then once they've been on their own, they've kind of assimilated it, then they come back and it's just like, right, makes sense. So I feel like it's actually, just for a little start of this, I feel like it's a lot to do with actually that. And we may be going through just a little bit of a tantrum, which is fine. It's okay. But just don't stay there for too long is what they're saying, because you're not seeing the positive that could help you with this. You're not seeing the positive to the situation. You're not seeing that. You're a bit in ego mode, and you're not seeing what you need to see. And I know that's hard to understand. It's just when you're in that blinder mode, you're in ego and you're chucking the tantrum, you're just like, no, 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 I don't want to do this. I don't need to do this. Why do I have to do this? You're not seeing the positive of the change that you're going on. This is why they've got you on the right path here, because it may not feel like it, but you are. This is meant to happen. You're meant to be doing this. You are on the right path. And that's why they say keep taking action. Keep going with it. Don't give up now. Don't stop now. Keep going what you're doing. Because all this inner work that you're doing is going to reflect in your outer world. It's going to happen. You're feeling like you're trapped. You're feeling like you're not moving. You're feeling like there's a standstill. You feel like everything I'm doing, I am not seeing yet. Even though there is positive stuff around you, there is manifestations around you, you're just not seeing it. You're not allowing yourself to see. You're just in ego mode right now. You're chucking a bit of a tantrum, and which is, it's fine. It's okay. You can have your little moment there. You can have your little shaky moment, but don't stay there for too long, as there is a lot going on around you, and it's just, I feel like it's with the tantrums, almost like a freak out as well. I feel like it's a little bit, you're second guessing yourself, you're second guessing whether you can handle this, but like I said last week, you are more ready for this and prepared for this than you realize. And with this, when you get, the biggest thing when you get stuck in ego, when you get stuck in that little tantrum, is your expectations have not been met. So whatever you expected to happen out of this decision, out of what was going on, you either expected more or you were expecting something that's not ready for you yet, is what I'm kind of getting. You're expecting too much. And when you have these expectations, it's you're setting yourself up for a downfall, is what I would say. You should never expect anything. Like, you always have, the positive outcome in mind. You obviously have that great mindset because, it's like the law of attraction. Whatever you want to happen, whatever you're saying is just like, I am this, I am that. That is essentially an expectation. But the thing is, if your expectations are unrealistic and you're setting the goal up here when you're still here, like, how the hell can you get from here to here? It's a stepping stone, is what they're saying. And that's what I think is really disappointed us in this. It's just and that's why you're not seeing the positive in it too. You're not seeing that, hey, I've actually made a step here. I actually have improved. You've just set the bar too high yet. You're just not there yet. You will get there. You will get this high because that's what you're meant to do. That's obviously, it's great. You have that vision. It's great to have a vision, but it's also great to have that clarity and that realistic mindset is, I will get there, but it's a stepping stone. So even though it has not turned out exactly the way you wanted, your expectations have not been met because they've been unrealistic. You have an illusion of being trapped at where you are because you imagine yourself up here, but you're here. But you actually have improved, is what they're saying. You actually have done more than what you've realized. You actually are higher than you believe. You just need to get out of that ego. Finish the tantrum. It's like you need to get the energy out. You need to release whatever needs to be released. So you need to get rid of that negative energy that you've actually attracted at the moment with these expectations that you've had. So that needs to happen before you can see the positive of the situation, before you can see that, hey, I have come further than I think. I will get here. I will get there. But I'm not there yet, and that's okay. You need to give yourself a break because that is a setup. That's perfectionism. Tiny suffers from this too, so this is about me as well. But perfectionism is the way to a breakdown. If you keep expecting up here and you keep on just going those little steps, which is what's meant to happen, that's how you grow. That's how you handle each step, is because each step is another evolution of yourself. It's another little awakening of yourself. It's just like, I am this level, I am this level. You can't possibly get from this level to this level. It's impossible because you're not ready for it yet. If you did jump that high, you wouldn't be ready for it, and then the fall. So that's what they actually say. The faster the rise, the faster the fall. So it's meant to be a baby step process. It's meant to be that. So get out of your mind that you're meant to be up here because you're not ready for it yet. Just kick that off because that's the way to a breakdown. That's why you're in ego at the moment. That's why you've had this little tantrum, because you may have made the decision. You may have actually done it. Like, some of you may still be in the process of it because this is a process of spiritual awakening. Some of you may have made it, but you're not where you're expected to be. So I don't know which group you are in, but whatever resonates with you, that's a message you need to hear. But what you've done is, sorry if I'm going too fast, it's just the energy at the moment. What you've done so far is like, the seeds are well planted. What you've done, you've actually done a bloody good job, is what they're saying. The seeds are well planted. There may be a temporary pause in action with where you actually are, but you have planted the seeds right. So you're on the right path. It's why they've got the life purpose card here as well, saying you are on the right path, because you're getting an ego and you're thinking you're not where you're supposed to be. You're thinking I failed, which you haven't. You actually have succeeded. You just set the bar too high. You're on the right path. So just get out of that mindset. You're doing good. You're doing well. Just release what you need to release right now, what you've attracted to yourself right now, and move on from it. But also with the Knight of Fire here, I think they're just really highlighting the situation as what you're in right now does need immediate attention, because the longer you stay there, the harder it is to get rid of that energy. So whatever you need to do to release that energy, meditation's good, yoga's good, going for a walk, surrounding yourself in nature, anything that helps cleanse yourself, whatever that is for you, get busy doing it, because you need to release this energy to actually start to see where you are and then continue making the steps, taking action, because you do still need to take action, but this could be to do with action with yourself, because you don't deserve to stay in that mode. You don't deserve it. That's what I always think too, whenever I've done this to myself, because Tiny does this to herself too. Whenever you do that to yourself, sometimes it's a bit like self-punishment, and we get stuck in that and we punish ourselves, and that's the most horrible thing you can do. You do not deserve to stay in that energy. You do not deserve to stay in that mindset. Get out of it as soon as you can. Release it, because you do not deserve to stay there. And I think what they're saying here is, with the speaker card, I think it's speaking out these thoughts, because sometimes it's hard to admit it. It's hard to admit when, especially when it's self-imposed, like I said last week, because what we've put ourselves through this. We've done this to ourselves, and I think it's good to speak it out, talk to your guides, talk to a counselor, because they actually are saying that, like, open up to people around you if you do need help releasing this, because I think I really do feel like you've disappointed yourselves. I really do feel like you really expected to be a lot further along than you are, and you expected it to rise a lot faster than what it's supposed to, and you've disappointed yourselves. This is why I think you're a little bit hurt at the moment. And you need to release that. And if you need to speak to release that, because I've said this in other readings, words of vibration and energy, when you speak it out, you're letting go of that energy and bringing good stuff in, because then you can speak the positive words. And then you start speaking positive about yourself, you're attracting that around you. But first, you need to release the negative. You need to get rid of the negative here. And crying is a great way to do it, as Tani has discovered. Crying is actually a really good way to release it. It sucks, it hurts, it's gross, it feels bad, but you're releasing that energy. That's why it doesn't feel so good when you're doing, because you release the energy. You need to actually feel that, especially when you've hurt yourself. You really do need to feel it to actually release it. Otherwise, you're bottling it down underneath all these layers of other layers you put on top of yourself with other energies, and you're bottling it down, and you're hiding from it, you're denying that's there, and then it becomes a lot harder to reach back to it to get it out. So this is a recent thing. So it's going to be a lot easier to release. The faster you do it, the easier it's going to be to release that, because it's not buried underneath a bunch of crap and a bunch of layers of other energy they've done to try and hide it and get it away from you. But it's just a disappointment right now. You just set the bar too high. That's what I feel like. We've just set the bar too high, because it's Tiny as well. We've set the bar too high, and now we need to get realistic about where we actually are, and that, like, it's okay not to be there yet, because we are, like, infinite beings and these human bodies and vessels and stuff, but our spiritual being still needs time to elevate as well. So just give yourself a break, feel this, move on from it, then go back to action and go back to sowing those seeds, because you're doing a good job. You actually have done a really good job. I think it's just a lot to do with our mindset. It's to do with here too. We need to release here, but also we need to clean up in our head where we realistically should be right now, and get realistic with the steps you set for yourself, because when you do that, and strength, we had this last week too in the life purpose card, which is funny, but yeah, we really need to call on that strength within ourselves to just be realistic. Just be realistic with yourself. Be realistic for where you are, and give yourself a break. You're doing a lot better than you think you are. So this upcoming week, it just feels like we need to adjust our mindset and get our balance again, because we had 2 drop cards, and the number 2 is a number of balance and equilibrium. So this is what we need to gain back this week. We need to gain back our equilibrium. Ooh, English. I'm going to say balance, because clearly I can't say that word. So we need to gain back the balance within ourselves, balance in the energy, balance in our mindset, and balancing with our energy in here to our external circumstances. And you are doing a lot better than you think you are. So just please, please, please remember that when you're going through that this week. You are amazing. You are doing so well right now. You just set the bar too high, and you've just set yourself up to fall because of that. But we're going to learn from it. You will not do this to yourself again, as it sucks doing it. It really sucks doing it, and you won't do this to yourselves again. So this is just a little disappointment. So you just had a little bit of a tantrum with it, but you're going to move on from it and realize you're doing better than you think you are. So I hope this has helped you guys for this upcoming week. And also, I just want to say a massive thank you for the support. I've been seeing a bigger, well, my English is completely going at the moment. I am a little bit sick at the moment too, so that could be actually why my throat's a bit raspy. But I'm really enjoying seeing the views and the just more engagement on my channel. I'm very, very happy with it. So I'm so glad for the support from you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me on my channel and along my journey. And I hope this upcoming week is going to be, it's going to be a good week. Let's be positive. It is going to be a good week as we're going to realize where we are and that it's fine. So thank you so much, and subscribe to my channel if you like my stuff too. Share my videos around and like them, comment on them. If you want to see anything else, any other type of videos on my channel, just comment them below and I'll try and cater to your needs. But anyway, enjoy this upcoming week and thank you so much for watching.